I'm honored to say I grew up listening to this guy's golden era of productions for musical themes and scores. A dedicated performer, a dedicated arranger, pianist, conductor. Lalo Schifrin, I'm pronouncing that the French pronunciation, has passed away at the age of 93. Born June 21st in Buenos Aires, Argentina, the Argentine-American pianist was best known for his large body of film and TV scores since the 50s, incorporating jazz and Latin American musical elements alongside traditional orchestrations. The five-time Grammy Award winner was nominated for 6 Academy Awards and 4 Emmys. Did not win. Schifrin's best-known compositions include the themes from Mission Impossible and Mannix, as well as scores to Cool Hand Luke, Bullitt, THX 1138, Enter the Dragon, The Four Musketeers, Voyage of the Damned, The Eagle Has Landed, The Amityville Horror, and the Rush Hour trilogy. He also had one of my favorite TV scores, the Planet of the Apes version, with Roddy McDowell. Schifrin was also known for collaborations with Clint Eastwood from the late 60s to 80s, particularly the Dirty Harry film series. He also composed the Paramount Picture fanfare used from 1976 to 2004. In 2009, he received an honorary Academy Award from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences in recognition of his unique musical style, compositional integrity, and influential contributions to the art of film scoring. Now, born in Buenos Aires, like I had mentioned, to a Jewish family, and it was named Boris Claudio. The nickname Lalo was a normal Argentine diminutive for his second name of Claudio. When he came to the States, he changed his name to Lalo legally to simplify his contract. His father, Luis, led the second violin section of the Orchestra de Teatro Colón for 3 decades. At the age of 6, a child prodigy, he began a 6-year course of study on piano with Enrique Barenboim, the father of pianist and conductor Daniel Barenboim. Schifrin began studying piano with the Greek-Russian expatriate Andrew Karelin, the one-time head of the Kiev Conservatory, and harmony with Argentine composer Juan Carlos Paz. During this time, Schifrin also became interested in jazz. Now, when he studied sociology and law at the University of Buenos Aires, he became interested in music. At the age of 20, he successfully applied for a scholarship to Conservatoire de Paris. At night, he played jazz in the Paris clubs. In 1955, he played piano with Argentine bandoneon giant Astor Piazzolla and represented his country at the International Jazz Festival in Paris. Now, he was strong in jazz in his early career from 1956 to 1963. After returning home to his native country in his 20s, he formed a jazz orchestra, a 16-piece band that became part of the popular weekly variety show on Buenos Aires TV. He also began accepting other film, TV, and radio assignments. In 1956, he met the great Dizzy Gillespie and offered to write extended work for his big band. Schifrin completed the work Gillespiana in 1958, which was recorded in 1960. Later in 1958, he began working as an arranger for Xavier Cugat's popular Latin dance orchestra. Now, while in New York in 1960, he again met Gillespie, who had been his time disbanded his big band for financial reasons. Gillespie invited Schifrin to fill the vacant piano chair in his Schifrin to his quintet. Schifrin immediately accepted and moved to New York City. He wrote a second extended composition for Gillespie, The New Continent, which was recorded in 1962. Now, on 26 May 1963, he recorded an album, Buenos Aires Blues, with Duke Ellington's alto sax, Johnny Hodges. He wrote 2 compositions for the album, Dreary Blues and the title track BA Blues. In the same year, MGM, which had Schifrin under contract, offered the composer his first Hollywood film assignment with the African adventurer Rhino. Schifrin moved to LA and became a U.S. resident in 1963 and became a naturalized U.S. citizen in 1969. Now, again, one of his most recognizable and enduring compositions, again, is the infamous theme music for Mission Impossible. It's a distinctive tune, while written in the uncommon 5/4 time signature. Now, he also did the highly successful theme music for Mannix Private Eye TV show, was composed a year later in 6/8 time. He eventually composed several other jazzy and bluesy numbers over the years as additional incidental music for the show. Now, Schifrin's tire sequence from his Cool Hand Luke score, also written in 5/4, was a longtime theme for the Eyewitness News broadcasts at WABC and other ABC affiliates, as well as 9 News in Australia. CBS Television used part of the theme of St. Ives soundtrack for his golf broadcasts in the 70s and early 80s. He also scored Eastwood's film Coogan's Bluff, and it was beginning of his long association with Clint Eastwood and Don Siegel. Schifrin's strong jazz blues riffs were evident in Dirty Harry. The well-received McQueen score movie, Bullitt, for this Peter Yates directed film was recorded in December the same year. He also wrote Enter the Dragon with funky wah-wah pedal sound and made the movie that much better. Now, Schifrin's working score for Exorcist, unfortunately, was rejected by the film's director, that two-faced William Friedkin. Schifrin had written 6 minutes of difficult and heavy music for the initial film trailer, but audiences were so frightened by the combination of sights and sounds it couldn't be used. As a reporter by Schifrin in an interview, Warner Brothers executive told Friedkin to instruct Schifrin to tone it down with softer music, but Friedkin did not relay the message. He also said that working on the film was one of the most unpleasant experiences in his life. He later reused the compositions on other scores. In '76, he released a single called Jaws, a version of the John Williams theme from Jaws on CTI Records. The single spent 9 weeks in the UK chart, hitting number 14. He also composed the '76 fanfare for Paramount Pictures, which was used mainly for the home video label and was adapted for TV division 11 years later until it was renamed to CBS Paramount Television, now CBS Studios. He also wrote music for the Ringo Starr Slag Stick Conley K-Man. Now, other work, he worked with the Three Tenors. He also reformed the Alpha Records. He did Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow. And he also made a cameo appearance in Red Dragon as an orchestra conductor. Pretty freaky. Now, he also had a long-time collaboration with Rod Schifrin after his victory in the World Cup of classical music. Now, he was married to Donna for a number of years and had 3 children. He unfortunately died from complications with pneumonia at the hospital in L.A. on June 26, 2005, 5 days after his 93rd birthday. Now, the symphony for Mission Impossible has been recorded as a symphonic rendition ahead of the release of the new Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning film starring Tom Cruise, which premiered in May. The program included other celebrated film scores by Schifrin and called it one of the most anticipated cultural highlights of the year. Now, we're going to go over what I think is his best work, in my personal opinion. Cool Hand Luke, The Fox, very underrated movie. Che, Kelly's Heroes, Dirty Harry, The Beguiled, all Eastwood, TXX 1138, Joe Kidd again, Eastwood, Enter the Dragon, Magnum Force, Eagle Has Landed, Voyage of the Damned, Roller Coaster, The Amityville Horror, The Competition, Amityville 2, The Possession, Sudden Impact, another Eastwood, Sting 2, Rush Hour 98, Rush Hour 2, After the Sun Set in Rush Hour 3. On TV, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., Mission Impossible, Mannix, Medical Center, the TV version of Planet of the Apes, Starsky and Hutch, Most Wanted, Chicago Story, Glitter, Sparky's Magic Piano, and the '88 Revival. Now, Schifrin has won 5 Grammy Awards, 4 Grammy Awards and 1 Latin Grammy with 22 nominations, 1 Cable Ace Award, and 6 Academy Award and 4 Primetime Emmy Award nominations. He has a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In 2016, it was announced that a Mission Impossible theme was to be inducted in the Grammy Award Hall of Fame. The Argentine composer also received the honorary Oscar, and again, well deserved. Now, the Academy Awards, these are all nominations. Best Original Score, Cool Hand Luke, 67, The Fox, Voyage of the Damned, The Amityville Horror. Best Original Song in 80 from the competition, People Along. And 83, Best Original Score to Sting, 2. And nominated, honorary Oscar in 2018. Golden Globe Awards, Best Original Score nominations, Voyage of the Damned, The Amityville Horror, and The Competition. Primetime Emmy Awards nomination, The Making of a President, 64. Mission Impossible, this is Outstanding Achievement in Music. Mission Impossible individual episodes, again in 68 and 69. Best 62 different nominations at the Grammys. And just a reminder of what he won. Best Original Jazz Composition, he won for The Cat in 65 and 66 for Jazz Suite on the Mass Text. He also won for Best Instrumental Composition for the Mission Impossible theme and Best Score Soundtrack for Visual Media in Mission Impossible in 68. Numerous nominations through the years. And again, the Charlie Parker nomination came under Best Instrumental Arrangement, and he was nominated for a Medical Center for Best Instrumental Composition. So again, winning for Mission Impossible, two Emmys, and again Pampas, Best Classical Contemporary Competition, the Latin Grammys. So, ladies and gentlemen, a life well lived, a contemporary. I don't think Steve McQueen and Paul Newman in Eastwood's movie, he was like, John Williams seems more like for everybody, but he was a male. You can feel that energy in there. In Clint Eastwood, he didn't do Two Mules for Sister Sarah, I know that. But you look at the Dirty Harry soundtrack, Mission Impossible, it's a very macho stuff. Lalo can be best to describe as one of the most, everybody knows who he was, but he still remained, it wasn't a John Williams or Hans Zimmer and stuff like that. He did the work he wanted to do. He loved jazz. And I think Clint Eastwood's appreciation of jazz came from his appreciation of Lalo. He will be greatly, greatly missed. And I think the best thing you can say, when you have a chance next few weeks, watch the Cool Hand Luke score. Look at the Mission Impossible score. Look at the Fox, very underrated movie, and Lloyd's of the Damned. And even the Amityville Horror, even though it's more of the stuff is bullshit. Lalo will be best. That's getting to be a dirty age, by the way. A lot of celebrities are passing away in 1993. That's the new normal where he would die at 70. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, when you watch a Clint Eastwood movie, like the score for The Beguiled, they're just eerie. Like, he could do westerns, he could do action, very, very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like our tributes as part of our remote control and screenshots tributes, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share.